What's up YouTube? In this video I'll be showing you how to make a zombie villager statue. It should be fairly simple. If you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. You will need some black wool and some dark grey wool. Also grab white, dark blue, cyan, red, and finally grab yourself some dark green wool. And once you have each one of those materials right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm going to be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off your villager with a row of 8 dark grey in a row on the floor. That's 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like that, and that is going to be the base row of the front of our zombie villager statue. So once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do for row number 2. Just do another row of 8 dark grey stacked on top of that base row. It's as simple as that. So once you have those 2 rows taken care of, for the next 10 rows, you want to do 10 rows of dark blue. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we just have to fill these in now. Always like to count them out first. Make sure that I'm not adding any, subtracting any by accident. I'm a little clumsy, I'll admit that. But we've done just about half of the rows now. I think we just have a couple left. Yep, here we go. So once you've got your 10 rows of dark blue, you then, for the next row, starting from the right hand side, on top of this 10th row, you want to do 2 cyan wool, coming in from the right, and then make the rest of your row dark blue. For the next row, starting from the right again, do 3 cyan, then fill the rest of the row in with dark blue. For the next 8 rows, do 8 rows of cyan wool. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And of course, we just have to fill these in now. So we're just basically doing the shirt of our villager. Shouldn't take us too much longer, but it has to be done. We don't want the villager being shirtless, do we? We don't want a zombie roaming around with a shirt. They already look creepy enough. We don't want them shirtless. Once you have your 8 rows of cyan wool, for the next row, you want to do 2 dark green in the 2 center spots of your row, and then do cyan everywhere else. For the final row of your zombie statue, do 4 dark green in the 4 center spots of the row, and then do 2 cyan either side to give you something which should look a little bit like that. And that is the final row of the front of your statue. So once you've reached this point right here, we now have to build up the rest of the statue. Next, we're going to be moving on to the back. So pause this if necessary if you're still working on the front of your statue. However, once you have reached this point right here, come all the way around to the back of your statue and come all the way down to the bottoms of the feet. Take out your dark grey wool and extend each end of the feet out of the back of the statue, each by 3 with your dark grey, like this. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Once you have your 2 rows of 3, just connect each of those third blocks together to give you this U shape right here, and that's basically just the base of the entire statue. We're now going to build up the entire back of the statue on top of these 8 back blocks, very much how we just built up the entire front of the statue on top of those 8 base blocks. So, building up the back of the statue now, stack 2 rows of dark grey on top of that back row of dark grey to give you 3 rows of 8 dark grey, like that. Once you have your 3 rows, do 7 rows of dark blue wool. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we just have to fill them in. So we're just working it out here. I think this is row number 3 or 4, I don't know, I've not been keeping track. Just got a couple left to do, and there we go, we have our 7 rows of dark blue wool. Once you've done that, for the next row, starting from the left hand side, you want to do 4 dark blue, then 1 cyan, then 3 dark blue. For the next row, starting from the left hand side again, do 3 dark blue, 3 cyan, 2 dark blue. Once you've done that, you then, for the next 12 rows, want to do 12 solid rows of cyan wool. But you don't really have to count out these 12 rows. You basically just have to take out your cyan and match the height of the front of the statue. So you don't really have to count anything out. Just take your cyan wool and make sure that it matches the height at the front of the top of your statue. It will save you doing any counting and it will be a lot easier in the long run. And what you want to end up with is something that should look exactly like this. Very simple indeed. And that is the entire back of your zombie statue. Once you've got the back taken care of, we're now going to take care of the sides. So move all the way over to this side of your statue and come all the way down to the bottom of the feet. We're basically going to be building up in a vertical row on top of this left dark grey block first, and then this right dark grey block. So starting on top of this left dark grey block, do this sequence of wool. Do 2 dark grey coming up, 1, 2, followed by 11 dark blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Almost made a mistake there, didn't we? On top of that 11th dark blue, you then just want to make the entire rest of the side of your statue cyan wool to give you something which should look exactly like this. On top of that right dark grey block, you want to do 1 dark grey, followed by 12 dark blue, which is basically the same as just matching the height of that other row of dark blue that we did on the left, and then you just want to fill the rest of the side of your statue in with cyan. So just to show you what we've done once again, because I want you guys to get this right, this is what you want to have for the side. On top of that left block, 2 dark grey, followed by 11 dark blue, fill the rest of the side in with cyan, and on the right hand side, 1 dark grey, 12 dark blue, and then the rest of the side is filled in with cyan. And once you've done one side, you can then move all the way over to the other side, and we just basically want to do the exact same thing. And all you have to do this side is just look directly forward at what we did on that opposing side, and we just have to copy it, look straight forward, and just apply it to this side of our statue. And in doing that, you should end up with something that should look exactly like this. Both sides should be indistinguishable from each other. Once you've got that taken care of, we can now move on to the head of our statue. So once you've reached this point right here, and as always, pause this if necessary if you're still working on that, you then want to come all the way to the front of your statue, and you want to come all the way up to the top of the torso. Once you're here, take out your dark green wool and stack a row of 8 dark green on top of that top row of the torso, just like that. Once you have that first initial row of 8 dark green, you then want to do 2 additional rows in front of that first row, like this, overhanging the front of the statue by 2 rows. We're now going to build up on top of this second row. So, on top of this second row of dark green that we've just placed, you want to place 4 black wool in the 4 center spots of your row, and then you want to do dark green everywhere else, just like that. For the next row, do an entire row of dark green wool. For the next row, starting from the left hand side, do 1 dark green, 1 white wool, 1 red, 2 dark green, 1 red, 1 white wool, 1 dark green. For the next row, place a single dark green on the ends of each row, and then just place black wool everywhere else in between. For the next 5 rows, do 5 solid rows of dark green wool. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now all we have to do is just fill those rows in, and that will give us the 100%, almost 100% completed face of our zombie villager statue. So what you want to have so far is something which should look exactly like this. He kind of looks like a cartoon character, but I really can't place the name of him at the moment. I think he's out of like the Marvel comics or something. Maybe I'm just making that up. All that we have left to do for the face for the moment is the nose, but we'll be doing that slightly later on. Once you've reached this point right here, you now want to move all the way around to the back of your statue, and starting from behind this original row of 8 dark green wool, you want to extend that original row back over the back of the statue until it overhangs the back of the statue by 2 rows. So exactly how the front of the head overhangs the front of the statue by 2 rows, the back of the head wants to overhang the back of the statue by 2 rows. Just like that, very simple. Once you've done that, you then want to take the 2 back corners of the head, this corner and this corner, you want to raise them up so they're equal height with the front of the head, then you want to connect them to the front of the head. So take each back corner, raise it up, connect it to the front of the head where we were just building, then connect each corner together, each row together, until you form a big giant 3D rectangular shape, which now needs filling in because we don't want the head empty. Although I did have I kind of had a cool idea right there, although it would be a little creepy. And maybe it doesn't make any sense. I was thinking, if you kind of left some of the head open, you could kind of include some of the zombie brains in there. Do zombies have brains? That's a question I have for you guys. Do they have brains? Probably not, right? I guess they do. They must have, because that's how you kill a zombie. You have to destroy the brain. So you could kind of do that if you wanted to leave the head exposed and have a really, really creepy statue. You could kind of have like half of the head. Yeah, no, this is not a good idea. We're not looking into creepy Halloween-themed villager. That's just a bad idea all around. Although it would look kind of cool. It would set it apart from all of the other statues, wouldn't it? But what you want to end up with is something that should look, so far, exactly like this. Once you've got that entire head filled in, we're now going to do the nose, and then we'll do the arms, then we'll be done. So, once you've filled the head in, come to the front of the face, and you're looking for these 2 blocks right here. They're the 2 middle blocks in between the eyes, just below them, right here. Place 2 dark green wool in those positions right there. Then extend each one of those dark green walls down, each by 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Just like that. So you want to have 2 rows of 4 dark green wool in those positions coming down in front of the statue. You then want to add an additional layer of dark green just in front of those to give you your villager's nose. That rhymed. Pretty simple. Once you've got that nose taken care of, we're now going to take care of both of the arms. So come over to the left hand side of your statue first of all, take out your cyan wool, and starting from these top 2 corners of the side, you want to take each one of these corners and extend each one of the corners out, going towards that way, out of the left hand side of the statue, each by 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. You then want to connect each one of those 4th blocks together, and then you want to go down from each one of those 4th blocks each by 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Then connect them together again, and also connect them back to the side of the statue, which should look a little bit like this. It's basically just a 4x4 square of cyan. Used a weird accent for that, didn't I? We're not cutting this out. Once you've got that taken care of, you now want to take out your dark green wool, and starting from each one of the 4 corners of the front face of the square shape that you've made, you want to do 4 rows of 8 dark green wool coming out in front of your statue. So starting with this bottom right hand corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then the bottom left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then the top left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the top right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just like that, and then just connect each one of those 8 blocks together like this just to form a nice rectangular shape. And you guys might be able to see there, we've made it very simple for ourselves. We're now going to fill in this shoulder part with cyan, and we'll fill in that arm part with dark green wool. Couldn't be easier, so just fill all of the exposed faces in with the necessary colours, and then we can do the other arm, then we'll be done. So I'm just going to do that for myself, then we can move on. So we've just got the dark green to do. Just about filled most of it. And what am I bumping into? I'm bumping into the nose, I think. I should have saved the nose until last. I almost saved the nose until last because of this part, so that it'd make it easier to maneuver around the statue. That's why I didn't do it with the rest of the face, because it would have made sense to add it onto the face whilst we were there, but hey, you know, I thought I'd bump into it, and I did. So that is the villager's arm. That's the first one taken care of. Once you've got that first one done, we can now move on to the opposite side. So coming to the opposite side, top 2 corners, extend out, each by 4 going that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other corner, 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect them together. Extend each one of those corners down by 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Connect each of them together again. Then take each one of those third blocks and connect them all the way back to your statue, just like that, to form a nice 4x4 square shape. Take out your dark green wool, you're on the front of the square, extend each one of those 4 corners of your square out in front of the statue by 8, just as I'm doing now. I didn't bother counting there because I have the other arm as a reference. I can just make sure that it evens up. Yep, that's right, they're all even. Then I'm just going to connect each one of those 8 blocks together, and then I'm going to fill them in, and then guess what we'll have? Go on, take a guess. We'll have a party. No, we'll have a finished zombie villager statue. It's going to be great. It's going to look angry. He can go right next to your regular zombie statue, or your collection of villager statues, which I do have tutorials for. I have tutorials for every single one of them. Would you believe it? Even the discontinued, well, discontinued would insinuate that it was ever in the game, but the gardener, I kind of, or is he a farmer? I don't know. He's green. He has green robes. I don't think he was actually included in the game. You never see a villager with green robes, but I do have a tutorial for that guy as well. They're all packed into one video, probably kind of hard to follow. I should have separated them. That would have been a smart move, but, you know, live and learn. So once you've filled in that second arm, once you've filled in all of the faces that are exposed, you should be left with something that should look exactly like this. And this is our 100% fully complete zombie villager statue. Looking pretty menacing. I think it's the nose. It's definitely the nose. I mean, maybe, you know the cartoon character that I was trying to think of earlier, that he kind of looked like without the nose? Well, maybe I was just thinking of Squidward from SpongeBob, you know? Just imagining the nose on there. I mean, villagers do kind of have a really, really strong resemblance to Squidward, and they kind of even do make his noises when you hang around them. They kind of sneer, they're like, "Ngh, ngh." Although I don't know what sort of noise a zombie villager would make. I've only encountered one in my survival series. I've never encountered more than one, and that was due to a mob spawner. So this is your zombie villager statue. Hopefully you guys found this easy enough to follow. Hopefully you had no trouble making it. I don't think it's too hard, not too difficult. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. I don't know what mob-related statue or build I may be doing next. Do me a favor, comment, let me know what I haven't done. They're all in a convenient playlist. You can see what I've done. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Ba-dum-bunch.